All right, we're breaking them down with NFL media analyst Elliot Harrison, doing what he does so well, which is ranking quarterbacks in the NFL. One of the many talents you have,
I
by
appreciate
the way.
that, Clark.
Yeah. All right, let's get right to the list. You know what? We're going to do this a little bit different than normal because counting down from 10 to 1, it's been done before. And really, at the end of the day, we know who the number one quarterback in the league is. Let's just reveal number one, and then we'll just hop around, shall we? There's your guy, MVP of the league, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, pretty easy choice here. And we're doing this, because the top 100 is going on the network. They're just starting to get into the top 10 quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers, to me, was an easy choice with what's going on with Tom Brady. And I, in past years, had Tom Brady number one. Couple things here. Number one, Tom Brady's getting older. We never know when that career wall is going to hit. It could be this year. Obviously, he's got the Deflategate thing surrounding him. And Aaron Rodgers, MVP of the league last year, I felt like this was a pretty easy number one.
Appreciate you not making any bad Deflategate jokes, by the way.
Deflating
stock, etc.
I would not pump up our segment with some dumb thing like that.
No, that'd be horrible. Let's move on to number 6, why don't we? In his 4th year in the league, heading into it, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, some people may think he needs to be higher. I've always said with Andrew Luck, we need to tap the brake. We're always talking about this guy like he's going to reside in the Hall of Fame, like if he hangs it up tomorrow. I mean, Andrew Luck is a fantastic player. He's just not there yet, okay? If you look at Andrew Luck's career numbers, a lot of turnovers. His passer rating isn't nearly as high as the other guys. Is passer rating everything? No, but it's a decent measure. It's a decent measure. There's yards per attempt. There's, as you mentioned, the fumbles. Andrew Luck, to me, is the 6th best quarterback going into this season, subject to change. He may be the fastest mover-upper, so to speak.
Let's look at number 8, Peyton Manning playing in Denver. And I have to ask, would he be at number 8 or would he be higher if he hadn't had that bad final month of the 2014 season?
He would absolutely be higher. In fact, I dare I say Peyton Manning might be a little underrated, including by yours truly. Peyton Manning, in late November, none of us were talking about his regression. He was having a way better season than Russell Wilson or Andrew Luck or some of these other players. Unfortunately, he did get hurt, and unfortunately, he is 39 years old, and I can name you a whole list of guys that retired around 38 and 39 because their bodies started breaking down. Kurt Warner, Roger Staubach, concussions. There are other quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, I'm concerned about his age going into this season.
Our next guy, does he stay at number 5 without the services of DeMarco Murray in the backfield?
I think he does, because if you look at the Cowboys from, first of all, I think number 5 is perfectly fair for somebody that had 113 passer rating last year. 2 seasons before that of over 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I think people need to get over the DeMarco Murray thing. If you look at Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley in the slot, Jason Witten at tight end, and Romo at quarterback, who's got better wide receivers, tight end, and quarterback than that? There might be some equal. I think the Colts are pretty much equal. But there aren't a lot of teams that are better than that. I think he'll be fine. I think the running back by committee will be fine. And his offensive line just got better with La'el Collins.
Let's say his last pass of the season was a touchdown instead of an interception. Would Russell Wilson still be at number 7?
I think so. Mark. They were the first team since the Minnesota Vikings, the Seahawks that is, to have a defense finish number 1 in scoring defense 3 straight seasons in a row. Well, that's important. I mean, Russell Wilson is getting the kind of support. You can talk about wide receivers and tight ends all day long, but a quarterback's best friend isn't the running game either. It's a defense that holds the other guys to about 14, 15 points per game. That's the best supporting cast you could have. Therefore, Russell Wilson, I dare say, has the best supporting cast in football, whether or not you agree with his wide receivers.
Let's go to number 2. You got Tommy Brady here. Let me point something out. One of your favorite statistics is yards per attempt. 7.06 yards per attempt for Brady in 2014. 21st in the league.
Yeah.
But you got him number 2.
Yeah, low season for him, and I think that's a fair point. A little too many dink and dunks and none-yard outs for that Patriots offense. But Tom Brady has made the plays when this team has needed him to make the plays. His postseason record is outstanding. He made the plays in the Super Bowl when they had to have them. And I'm going a lot on track record here. Now, we're not talking about Deflategate, but I trust Tom Brady to win a game as much as any quarterback in the league, and that's why I have him number 2. But hey, I used to have him number 1. I did move Aaron Rodgers ahead of him, and Tom Brady has more hardware than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, let's go to another guy on this list who certainly had a great start to the season. He was your MVP through 6 games, Philip Rivers at number 9.
Good memory. That's right. I was touting him every week, wasn't I?
He was great to start the season off.
He really was, and I just hated to put Philip Rivers at the back of this list, but to me, Philip Rivers is an outstanding quarterback. I take him over Matt Ryan, over Joe Flacco, over Cam Newton. I think there's a discernible drop-off. You're going off the edge of the table when you go from 9 to 10 on these rankings. Phillip Rivers is part of that 9. Now, if you wanted to say Phillip Rivers is 7 or 8, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm just saying the top 9 guys on this list, there's a discernible drop-off after them.
At number 3, a guy who a lot of people say is underrated. You don't have him underrated, though. Ben Roethlisberger at this spot.
Yeah, this is the highest I've ever rated Ben Roethlisberger. And
what a year. I mean, what an amazing
I agree. What a year. Look at that throw right there to Martavis Bryant. I remember that against the Bengals. They needed that play, 94 yards. Ben Roethlisberger not only has won 2 Super Bowls, one of the Super Bowls he won a la Russell Wilson, where the defense was a big factor. The other one he won against the Cardinals. He was outstanding last year. He's been able to make street ball kind of plays that other quarterbacks just can't make. And even though Romo and Roethlisberger aren't runners per se, what quarterback has better pocket mobility than those 2 guys?
Oh, he just shakes off sacks. Absolutely. How about at number 4, Drew Brees, if I can learn how to talk?
It's okay.
Yeah, he's had some statistical slides in the past couple of years, but still at number 4, that's a testament to how good he consistently is.
That's what I was going to say. That's okay. I mean, even Drew Brees has his down years, and last year people considered that one of them. But it's so funny what people consider a down year for Drew Brees is like 4,700 yards, 97 passer rating.
And leads the league in yards per game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but I understand it because the Saints won a lot of home games, lost a lot of home games last year, something that hadn't happened in recent times, and Brees wasn't able to make the plays that into games like he had in prior seasons. That said, I'm not ready to just put him down at the bottom of this top 10 yet. Drew Brees had a little bit of an off year. He still has a Super Bowl ring, and I think he's still one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
As you said, bottom of the top 10, that is this spot right here. And you said there's a drop-off from 9 to 10. A lot of other guys you could have maybe slotted here. Matt Ryan comes to mind as well, but you went with Alex Smith.
Yeah, several guys. Ryan Tannehill was suggested to me in the NFL Now newsroom. I think that's a good one. Definitely Matt Ryan was a guy I considered. Cam Newton is a guy you can consider. Little problems with inaccuracy still for Cam Newton. But that's what Alex Smith does really well. And if there's one thing I'd like to see him do a little more of, it's this, because he's quite effective at it. I like Alex Smith going into this year because they shored up the offensive line. They went and got Ben Grubbs. They drafted Mitch Morse. And then also they got Jeremy Maclin in free agency. They're giving Alex Smith some of the help he needed. Of course, Justin Houston's going to be there for a while. I think I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs defense being able to keep other offenses down in points so that Alex Smith doesn't have to go out there and put 35 points on the board to win. That's why I like Alex Smith as the 10th best quarterback heading in to 2015. I'm not saying that his career resume is the 10th best because I think you can make an argument for Joe Flacco, who's won a Super Bowl. You can make an argument for Matt Ryan, who's pretty much been good out of the gate. And then Cam Newton brings a unique factor to pro football that other quarterbacks just don't bring. That said, we're talking about going into 2015. I think the help that Alex Smith got from Andy Reid and that front office sneaks him in this top 10. But I do think there's that discernible drop-off between Rivers and Alex Smith.
That's why it's fun to argue about these lists, because we've got 4 months to fill until the regular season starts. But here is a list of Elliot's top 10 quarterbacks heading into the season. You see them right there: Rodgers, Brady, Roethlisberger, Brees, Romo, Luck, Wilson, Manning, Rivers, and Smith. That's in order. That's
anybody you don't agree with there?
Order.
Is Took?
Tom Brady too. I might have slid him down a little further per the yards per attempt metric, but I get your argument. And you know what? That's why we have Twitter. Fans can hit you up at Harrison NFL.
That's right. Why does your teleprompter say, "Hi, I'm Ron Burgundy"?
Don't take me a while.
It really does. It says, "Hi, I'm Ron Burgundy."
Let's just tell people instead what it should say, and that is, if you want to read more about his top 10 quarterbacks, go to NFL.com. Also, Johnny Cash called. He wants his
You threw a trident in his
back. Where'd you get a grenade?